welcome back. Got into a game 2, so gotta come back ASAP. In the top right, he's up 1-0. It is Liquid MaNa. In the bottom left, there's the blue Zerg. It is Lambo. The head Lambro. Cool guy, cool streamer. Apparently, Harsom's YouTube has reached 10,000 subscribers. It's actually really impressive. My YouTube's still chugging along. And I believe we are allowed to put up these VODs onto YouTube, so if you miss any of the casts, they'll be up there. As are any casts I ever do. Ow! Ow! Okay, so I don't know how MaNa got up one game, but MaNa certainly has it in to be cheesy already. I don't know if I label him as a cheesy Protoss, but he does do it a decent amount of times. You know, I'm thinking more of a adept all-in, stuff like that, though. Not necessarily a cannon rush, but this is what it is. It's cannon rush, gateway, then forge. A bit later, but then you get into the possibility of some X-Core and a Robo and all that fun stuff. It's so fun for the Zerg, especially. It's so fun. So Lambo did have an Overlord being sent over, did have an idea to try to pull his drones as fast as he really could to stop the wall-in from happening, but a second probe that really should not be tangoing. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, he wants to get the probes to stop this from actually happening. Cannons are coming down. Pylons were just to build the wall. Only need one to actually power these cannons, and the wall is very effective. Not even one pylon went down there. He's gonna try and hold the natural by building spine crawlers, but is it too late? It was kind of a half response in all senses. Like, he kind of pulled the drones initially, and then he kind of pulled the drones when he realized there was a second probe, but all that drone pulling leaves him with fewer minerals, so he's going to afford 4 spine crawlers, a handful of lings, and then he's actually going to go back into droning, so he's not going to try to afford any queens whatsoever. He's going to just go across the map. His Overlord did finally get to a point where he could see, oh my god, okay, you're actually going into a natural. Gotcha. So by going for the wall off on the low ground instead of the high ground, it really does say, I'm not going to do that Robo thing, but rather actually try and macro out of this. And the question is it good enough to macro out into getting a hatchery? I would suspect so. Not only does he get a hatchery, Lambo had to build 4 spine crawlers. That's 4 drones taken away from an already lower drone count. And because he could get the Cyber X-Core by opening up with the gateway first, then Adept pops out and can easily shoo away these slow lings. Of course, all the cannons and pylons go down. You have to do so. Cost-benefit analysis that could be going down here. How many minerals went into all of the attack versus the defense. But I didn't think MaNa was going to go for a 1-base Robo, but he absolutely does, and it's in proxy, so I really thought he was going to do the expansion, because just so often, if you're going to do the Robo thing, you wall off the high ground. But no. So Lambo, his Overlord should still be seeing, like, okay, hey, like, you still don't have a Nexus. Well, if it moved a little bit, I could see that. And if you don't have a okay, there we go. If you don't have a Nexus, then you have to be getting a Robo. You know, this isn't Gold League, sorry guys, where you get double Stargate after this, but he's like, where the hell is it? Like, what is happening? Starting to search around, Overlord's spreading out, Lings unfortunately finding the proxy, but after everything is really already set up, got a cannon, shield battery, Immortal's already 80% done. I mean, yeah, I think he was worried he was blocking his Immortal. Okay, that's really awkward. It doesn't matter, it couldn't get out that way anyways. Adepts are still buying a lot of time, doing a lot of scouting, taking out any Lings that could bother the growing threats at the third base of Lambo. I really feel like Lambo's already taken too much damage. Lambo now deciding to go into a lair, but it's going to be scouted by the Adept Shades. So MaNa, he can't do too much back at home. I mean, he could get a cannon here, but more just like keeping in mind that he might have to recall if it's a Nidus Worm. That's so far off, though. All 4 spine crawlers are alive, and it's going to help him temporarily against the Immortal, but as soon as there's 2 Immortals, it's just, I mean, spine crawlers usually don't last that long. MaNa getting a little bit too bold there. A little bit. Takes hull damage on the Warp Prism. Just a tad, but it's still pretty important for the Zerg to keep in mind. Bit more damage taken. 2 immortals at a time. Another cannon on the way. He is slowly leapfrogging forward to kill Lambo. Oh, apparently Lambo 12 pulled in game 1 didn't work. So this is like revenge. Nice. It is a Nidus Worm, but as I said, MaNa will already be mentally prepared to recall, and with double the Immortals, like, Immortals aren't really a unit made to kill Lings. You know, the Lings get us around, the Immortal dies, but when it comes to, I don't know, like, living, when it comes to actually defending this type of aggression, Immortals do a fine enough job. Recalled back home, perhaps with a shield battery or a cannon helping out. 2 Immortals against even a decent number of Lings can be enough. Or in this case, all the Immortals. Maybe all the Immortals have to be pulled back. MaNa doesn't really have it in him to go around scouting. He wants all the probes mining, and he can't really afford a pylon on the defense, but yeah, not actually seeing the Nidus Worm coming. He has the energy for a recall. All right, he's gonna use it on a single Warp Prism with 2. Okay, so he has 2 Immortals. As I say, with a cannon, I think this might just be enough. The Warp Prism especially is the big difference maker here. Probes really nicely done. The probes just on hold position around the cannon, stop the full surround coming down. So that was really nice indeed, but 2 Immortals getting awfully low. The Queens also joining in here is a big difference. The shield battery actually just canceled, and MaNa is forced to evacuate from the main base. Just too much was here. He did leave Immortals back at home. He left the units back, rather, not at home, on the attack. His well, now home anyways. He's gonna have to use this as his main base. So they did punch through the natural, and they're both on pretty bad economies, but at least Lambo has an economy. At least he has one. MaNa did not get to enough minerals to go for a Nexus, so this game is do or die for MaNa in the next 60 seconds. 120 seconds at least, with a Spire, plus the Mutas, I suppose. Like, he is on a timer because of that Spire. He's just trying to get to a Stargate as well, but it's not, he can't afford anything from the Stargate. He can't even afford 1 Phoenix. He's gonna go for double Observer, which is, I guess, all he can afford. The Immortals at a count of 5, though. Ooh, 5 Immortals. The Queens are plentiful. The Ling numbers are great. The Queens also have a ton of transfuses. They're going to go right for that Warp Prism. There's no shield battery to help that Warp Prism out either, so it can only juggle for so long. Has to retreat back to the shield batteries. Is it good enough? Temporarily it is, but Lambo has held, and he's just holding on as long as it takes to get to those Mutas. Another Queen on the way. He's running out of minerals on the main base. He's low on the mineral count, but all he really needs is like 4 Mutas. Like, not even like 1 Muta. Like, literally 1 Muta. No Stalker has been made in the making of this game. I actually feel like MaNa, he could be figuring this out, know that he's on a timer and all that. Yeah, he absolutely does know. He could try and sneak around and cancel the Spire, but nope, not anymore. This game is over. Unless it's some weird literal base race. I don't think that can happen, though. I mean... Nah, it can't happen, right? The Warp Prism is going to go down. Without the Warp Prism, the Immortals can't stand up to all that's happening here. Can't save that 1 Immortal there. They might just be able to grab all the Queens. Missing a couple of Transfuses, but there are the Mutas, and that's it. That is it. I actually can't believe Lambo ended up winning this game, considering the awkwardness that was the start, but GG. I guess MaNa and the way he did it was also kind of awkward. You know, the timings of it, not really what you would expect. He didn't just stay in the natural after killing it to try and get to those robos. Now we went to the 3rd base to do it, so his shield batteries weren't immediately ready for that juggle. And, yeah, he didn't take the Nidus Worm as seriously as he should have. What a trip. 1-1. They both cheesed each other, and they both lost because of it. Game 3 already starting on Eternal Empire. These guys are quick. Rainier 2-0 Hampshire. Euthermal's still... Well, Euthermal's waiting for the winner of this. Okay. So I'll probably follow that. Clem's still waiting for the ZVC to be over. And we're really rounding out that round of 8. All tied up. Bottom left is the red Protoss. It is MaNa. Top right as the blue Zerg. It is Lambo. I did mean to check at some point if it's 5 hours or some stopping point. Okay, there's some other admin stuff that happened. Lambo's going for a pool first here. MaNa so far, no forge. Oh, thank God, Wardy actually asked the question as soon as I was prepared to type it. Thinking the same thing. We'll get a confirmation from the admins, but I think there's just 2.5 more hours here. Yeah, 5 hours total. Okay, alright. I think that's the case. And if you're not done with your game by the 5-hour mark, they cut you off. Just kidding. They let you finish the series. Alright, so pool first. It's a little annoying, but it wasn't a super early pool. It's not a dedicated all-in. MaNa is... Did he not see that at all? His probe scout was late, and that's weird because MaNa usually does a very fast probe scout. And it didn't go to the natural, it went to the third base, so this is really awkward. Now, the Adept's gonna finish where the pylon falls, but the pylon is gonna fall, and that's annoying. Oh my god! Okay, I called that way too confidently. Oh my, I could have sworn it was gonna finish. I gotta imagine MaNa thought the same thing too, but oh my god, that was close. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have an idea of what's following up. Now he sees a drone trying to get third base, so he might know that there's no more lings on the way, but you gotta take the most extreme precaution first, so he actually just walls off entirely. Loses 2 probes, the ling harassment, but oof, lordy. Oh my god, that was so close. If he had been just a little bit slower on his build. Hot damn. Alright, so he is fully walled in. This is really awkward because he doesn't have any scouting. He's gonna have to wait for a Stargate unit. He knows the third base was gonna be taken, and at this point, I mean, it has to be taken, so they're gonna have excess money if they don't take a third. But that doesn't mean that he's gonna know if there's not a bunch of lings also being bulked up. Or a fast layer, which an Adept can still tell you until speed is done. Well, not the Adept is stuck at home. The good news for MaNa is that it's not anything aggressive. The Phoenix will eventually go across the map and see exactly what's going down. But it is just a Phoenix. He's not even getting an Oracle, going straight into a Twilight Council on a Robo here. Could have went for a faster scout. I guess he really is not too concerned. Adept actually just gonna go to the Zelnaka. At this point, speed would be finishing up in most, if not all, builds, so yeah, I can't really go across the map now. Resonating Glaives, yeah. Okay. Bunch of gateways coming down. MaNa is going to be aggressive eventually. And MaNa does he's gonna do it unscouted. Lambo lost his Overlord to that single Phoenix. He might be a little suspicious, like, why isn't there anything else from that Stargate? Usually it's an Oracle and Phoenix combo. Or 2 Oracles and a Phoenix. But just a Phoenix? What is he trying to keep me from keep me from scouting? From being prepared for? Depths, that's what. Last game. This is the winner's bracket. But the loser's bracket is grueling and tough. So you'd rather just go ahead and win this one. Their Nexus comes down, but it's a bit of a fake. Back in the good old days of, like, Wings of Liberty. Wings of, not Wings or. Wings of Liberty or Heart of the Swarm, I think that was still happening. You would actually get a canceled Nexus if they weren't going to saturate it, but... No, this is a real Nexus. It's not a bunch of probes going to be transferred over. He's not even fully saturated as natural. Like, seriously, like, not because he doesn't have the gas, because he doesn't have 16 probes. He doesn't really want to use the Warpins back at home to defend his third Nexus, but it'd be really bad if, like, 8 Lings did a cancel on it. Lambo has to be wondering what's going on, though. Oh, he's supply blocked? No, Lambo isn't. MaNa is. Lambo is not making any roaches right now. So Adepts show up, and he has nothing. He built 7 roaches immediately, but at no point did he think, okay, why is this Nexus a freebie? Oh, no. Oh, gosh, no. But the Nexus might be a freebie, so this is going to be a really weird game. He gets a bit of a wall for the drones of the Queens, but it's a very temporary thing. The Warp Prism's still alive. The Queen's starting to go down. More Adepts were warped in. I think MaNa's got this. Like, even if he does get the Nexus, which maybe he won't. Well, maybe he will. He's going to lose everything. The roach numbers are not high enough to take on this many Adepts. But maybe because MaNa can't really reinforce anymore because he isn't mining that much. Quay? The Lings do go down. They don't grab the Nexus. Oh, no. More Adepts are warped in. Only a few more at a time. And the roach numbers starting to get a little bit more consolidated, a little bit more impressive. The Spore Crawler is also desperately trying to stop the Warp Prism from being able to transport around, but the Adept Shades can still do it themselves. Lings can only help so much. Oh, the Warp Prism's starting to get targeted by that Spore Crawler. Other Spore Crawler as well. Can't really help, but oh, the Adept's gonna cancel that. Last second cancel, gets a Spore Crawler. And let that Warp Prism warp in again. Queens have to go over a bit of non-creep to even try and stop that Warp Prism, and they go the wrong direction anyways. They want to try and circumvent the Warp Prism going back to the third base, but the Adepts still got warped into the main. More drones go down. Roach numbers can finally tackle them, I suppose, but they can't chase them. The lair is done, but certainly no roach speed is on the way. Lambo has lost most of his gas mining, whenever it is mining. He's using it to build roaches. It's way too much damage. Behind this, MaNa has started his robo production, so Immortal is on the way. MaNa's up 10 workers, and with a third Nexus, I mean, if the third Nexus is dead, this still might be a different story, but it's not. It was so close to dying to like 8 Lings. And the Adepts are still alive, still keeping Lambo back at home, still keeping him from really macroing like he would once. And Lambo's got to know with how much time this took to actually clean up that he has no chance of doing a counterattack. He just has to try and drone through this, but MaNa even potentially saving like 6 Adepts to help in any potential counter. But oh man, that was weird. That was awkward. The Warp Prism did die to the Spore Crawler Queen combination, so one of the reasons is to stop dealing damage, but Lambo really can't feel comfortable moving across the map, even if he thought he could tackle whatever Immortals are available, because the Adepts could shade in. MaNa... Okay, I was going to say, he should have more than one Immortal. He does. They're just up in the main base. And he has a Warp Prism again to juggle, need be. MaNa's not even going to wait for Lambo's desperate counter. There is not going to be one. Lambo's just trying to get the drone count back up, which he now has, but he needs to go back into roaches right now. MaNa's army is on the way. It's got 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism. I feel like it's all you really need. It's also got 5 gateways, another warp in soon to happen, and a decent economy. He's trying to make a couple of Ravagers, but now Lambo has a supply block problem, and he did not really start making roaches when he should have. Not that he would have known. He was in a desperate position, couldn't really do a lot of scouting, couldn't really choose to both make drones and army. He had to try and play a little bit risky. Drones being pulled into this will take all the work he just did to make them again. But they have to be. There are not many force load in this army. The sentries were warped in late, didn't have a lot of time to accrue energy, but the Immortal still alive with that Warp Prism means that this is still going to end up favorable for MaNa. And that's going to be it. Lambo. Oh, he's just so surprised with those Adepts. I mean, even if he started to figure out, like, okay, what is happening when he got on that Nexus, even if he did, the Roaches still wouldn't be at a very good time. He probably still would have taken a ton of damage, but maybe it would have stopped the snowball. The game isn't over, but Lambo in an even more desperate position than before, losing his third base and losing his drones. MaNa As a you can actually pulsar beam most of these roaches down. Go, Oracle, go. Also has reinforcements back at home. A third immortal joins the fray. Lambo desperate. There's another choice though. You have to use the army and hope they just did not macro back at home. Sorry, Lambros. GG. You're gonna have to watch Lambo fight it out in the lower bracket. Tough.